we shall discuss about fourfold division of karma. The fourfold division of karma are the first by way of function, or the second by order of ripening, the third is by time of ripening, the fourth is by place of ripening. So this evening we shall discuss the second division, that is by order of ripening. So there are four kinds of karma by order of ripening. The first is known as Garuka karma, Vifti karma. The second is Asana karma, or death approximate karma. The third is Ajinna karma, or habitual karma. The fourth is Katata karma, reserved karma. So as long as one has not yet attained the highest stage of enlightenment, arahant, one will take birth again. So what will determine the destiny of those who are not yet enlightened? The karma determines the destiny of one who has not yet attained the highest stage of enlightenment. So at the last moment of the death, karma will be ripening. So in order of ripening means if one has committed Vritti karma, then that Vritti karma definitely will produce results at that time. Other karma cannot replace this Vritti karma. So as you know, karma consists of wholesome and unwholesome karma. So there are these 5 kinds of karma, or 5 heinous karma, or in Pali it's known as Anantariya karma. The 5 are patricide, or it means killing of father, matricide, killing of mother. The third is the murder of an arahant. The fourth is the wounding of a Buddha, or causing the body of the Buddha to shed blood. And the fifth is maliciously creating a schism in the Sangha. In accordance with the teachings of Ratana Sutta, Ditti, wrong view, is the number 6 that can cause worldling to reborn in the state of loss. So, as you know, there were Datta who had committed 2 kinds of heinous crimes. One is wounding the Buddha, the other is causing a schism in the Sangha. So that's why he was reborn in hell, or Avicii. And Devadatta lost his psychic powers because of this Anantariya karma. If one has not yet attained any stage of enlightenment and had committed these heinous crimes, then it's not possible to attain any stages of enlightenment in that life. For example, King Ajatasattu, actually he had parami to attain the first stage of enlightenment. But because he had committed patricide, or killing his father, King Bimbisara, that's why he could not attain Sutapati Magga and Phala after listening to the Samaya Phala Sutta. So if one did not commit any of these Vritti karma, then the next karma may be ripening at the moment of death. Is a death proximate karma. So death proximate karma means when a person is about to pass away, then with the help of family members or relatives, he is doing karma, good karma such as offering of robes to the Sangha, or listening to the chanting of Parita Pali. Then by this merit, this could become a cause for him or her to take rebirth in a good realms. So it is possible that a person of a bad character, or bad character means he did a lot of evil while he was alive. If he could do some good deed towards the last moment of life, and could remember or bear in mind the good deed he had done in the last moment of life, he might have a good rebirth or fortunate rebirth. But a person of a good character who has done a lot of good deeds while he or she was alive, but if that person did some unwholesome deed towards the last moment of life, or remember some evil deeds he did, that can become a cause for him or her to have what called unhappy rebirth, dukkati. So this death proximate karma, according to some teachers, also includes meditation also. The last benefit of practicing loving kindness is if one who has not attained the highest stage of enlightenment, one may take rebirth in Brahma world. If a loving kindness meditators towards the last moment of life could attain absorption concentration to the practice of loving kindness, then he or she may reborn in the Brahma world. But in accordance with one of the discourses found in the Indriya Samyutta, this discourse about the benefits of 5 mental faculties. As you know, the 5 mental faculties are Saddha or Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. If these 5 mental faculties are well developed, then one is possible to attain the highest stage of enlightenment, that's arahantship. But if one did not attain arahantship during the lifetime, but towards the last moment of life, one could keep on practicing satipatthana meditation, and the 5 mental faculties are well developed, then it's possible to attain arahantship at the time of death. So that's why many vipassana meditation teachers would encourage yogis to practice at home. Before falling asleep, they should develop mindfulness till the moment of falling asleep. Then at the moment of waking up, they should develop mindfulness at that moment as well. So actually, this also becomes a habitual karma if one could do it every day. If there's no that proximate karma, then this habitual karma will determine one's destiny. Assuming that one could develop mindfulness till the moment of death, if one did not attain enlightenment, then one could be born with 3 good roots. 3 good roots are alobha, adosa, amoha. So if one is born with 3 good roots, then one is endowed with sharp mental faculties, for example, sharp wisdom, then one would be attain enlightenment in the next life. So this habitual karma is very important in one's life. But if one did not have these 3 karmas or these 3 types of karma, then the 4th karma could be ripening in the last moment of death. The 4th type of karma is reserved karma. Could be karma that's done occasionally in this life or in the past life. So which karma that you should be chosen or should rely on. There's a habitual karma. But the Abhidhamma places asana karma, that proximate karma as a second type of karma to be ripened in the last moment of life. The commentary explains with a simile. For example, a farmer is rearing cows and keeping the cows in this room. So there's only one door. So early morning, when the farmer opens the door, which cow will go out from the door first? So assuming that there's no Garuka karma, then actually the cow who is standing near the door will go out first. So even though that cow is quite weak, but being pushed by the cow from behind, that's why that cow in front will go out first. But your habitual karma can also become that proximate karma. So you have a habit of developing mindfulness every day before falling asleep. Then you could also, it's possible you also could develop mindfulness towards the last moment of life. But if one does not know how to practice mindfulness, but one knows how to practice samatha, for example, loving kindness, then one could put on effort to develop loving kindness at that moment. But if one doesn't know how to meditate, then his relative or family members may have to remind him or her to remember his good deed that he had done in his life or in her life. Or in some Buddhist countries, they would invite monks to do chanting of Parita or Mahasatipatthana Sutta and so on. But it's better to rely on oneself. So that's why in some of these courses, the Buddha said, the practice of four foundations of mindfulness is your refuge. So in other words, one take refuge in the Dharma by the practice of four foundations of mindfulness. So at the last moment of the death, or towards the last moment of death, one of the karma could be ripening or taking effect that determine the destiny of that person that is going to pass away. Or karma nimitta can be appear at a time. For example, karma nimitta such as seeing the robes, because one remember one had made offering of robes to the Sangha. A doctor could be seeing the equipments used in the operation in order to save a life of a being. Or a butcher who has been done a lot of killing may be seeing a knife with blood. Sometimes there is no karmic nimitta, but karma gati could be appear. So karma gati means the place or destiny that the person going to born. So a person who had done a lot of good deeds may be seeing the Deva world or the chariots from the Deva world. So there are Dhammapada stories explaining about this karma or karma nimitta or karma gati. So one of the Dhammapada stories is about a pork butcher by the name of Chunda. So he had earned his living by killing pigs for 55 years. He killed a pig either for his own consumption or for selling. According to the commentary to this Dhammapada verse, his way of killing of a pig is very cruel or very torturing. So whenever he wanted to kill a pig, he would fasten the pig on a post and hit the pig with a square club, or it means something like a stick. So the purpose is to make the flesh of the pig soft, tender. Then you force open the jaws of the pig and put in a little wedge in the mouth. Wedge means like something like a piece of wood or metal into the mouth. Then you pour down, pouring hot water into the throat of the pig. So the hot water will go through the belly of the pigs, loosening the excrement and pass out together with the hot water. So the water that passes out, as long as the water is still dirty or stained, then he will keep on pouring the hot water into the throat of the pig. But if the water came out clean, clear, then he will pour the hot water, the rest of the hot water, over the back of the pigs. So the hot water would peel off the black skin of the pig. Then he would use this torch, the fire of the torch, to burn off the bristle. Bristle means the stiff hair of the skin of the pig. Then he would cut off the head of the pig with a sharp sword. So at that time, the blood would gushing out. Then he would cut the blood with a dish. Then he would roasting the pig at the same time pouring this blood over the body. So when the pig had been fully roasted, he would eat the pork with his son and with his wife. Whatever they could not finish eating, he would be selling it the next day. So he had been doing that for 55 years. Although he stayed near the Veruwana monastery, where the Buddha was reciting at the time. So don't you think that staying at a place near the Buddha, was it a blessing? Just now you have chanted Mahamangala Sutta, one of the highest blessings, Patirupa Desa Vaso. What's the meaning? Living or staying in a suitable location or suitable place. So Chunda had the chance to make offering to the Buddha as well as the Sangha, or had the chance to listen to the teaching of Buddha, but he never did it. He never took this chance at all. So you have to realize that you have this blessing as well. So you should make use of this good opportunity, this good blessing in your life. Then one day Chunda was attacked by malady. So at the time, this fire of the Avicii arose before him. So when this fire of Avicii arose, his behavior was changed totally. 7 days before he passed away, Chunda was grunting like a pig, or squealing like a pig, crawling in the house, front and back, or like a pig. So his grunting, squealing like a pig was so loud. So even his neighbors within as far as 7 houses away could hear his grunting, squealing like a pig, so loud. So even his family members could not sleep at that time. The neighbors could not sleep also. He wanted to crawl out his house So the members of his family have to block the house or barricade the house. So he has to suffer the result of his karma for 7 days. So on the 7th day, he passed away and reborn in the Avicii hell. So some monk who walk past his house during that period of 7 days. So those monks heard the noise. It was a grunting, squealing like a pig by the chunda, and the house was closed or locked. So this monk thought that chunda had been killing pigs for 7 days consecutively. They thought he might have some celebration or entertainment to hold some celebration or entertainment. They thought chunda does not have any thought of loving kindness at all, no feeling of compassion. So they went to see the Buddha and told Buddha about this noise. So the Buddha told the monk that he has not been killing pigs for these 7 days, but because he was suffering from the result of his evil deeds. That's why what you heard is the noise of grunting or squealing of a pig is in fact come from him. So eventually he passed away and born in the Avicii hell on the 7th day. So the Buddha said, here he suffers, after death he suffers, or the evil doer suffers in both places. He suffers, he is affected, seeing the impurity of his own past deeds. So it's important to develop the habit of doing wholesome deeds. So when you practice, for example, mindfulness meditation constantly, continuously, then it may become the habit in your life. So that's why meditators should put effort to bring mindfulness into their daily life. Here, you are putting effort to master the skill of mindfulness or the technique of mindfulness, or to sharpen your mindfulness. We practice mindfulness with the aim of attaining our spiritual goal or our spiritual aim. Even though if you could not attain your goal or your aim during retreat, then you should continue your practice outside the retreat or outside the meditation center. Mindfulness means present moment's attention. In other words, you are paying attention to your thoughts or thinking that's arising, happening in the mind at the moment, or you are paying attention to some movements or actions they are doing at that time. But if one doesn't know the technique, knows how to be mindful, so that's why one has to join the retreat. One has to go through a proper course to understand the technique, how to develop mindfulness. So in order to develop mindfulness, one has to learn to live in the present moment. We seldom live in the present moment in our daily life. While doing something, the mind could be somewhere else or thinking of another thing. So one has to change the habit of mind. In other words, training the mind to stay in the present moment. So in other words, one has to guide the mind, directing the mind to the present moment. So, for example, during sitting meditation, one might have to guide the mindfulness, that means attention of the mind, for example, to the basic object of sitting meditation, movement of abdomen, or the sitting postures, or the contact the body. If one does not put effort to guide the mind or to direct the mind to the basic object, then the mind will be going back to the habit of thinking, wandering here and there. So when meditators are paying attention to movement of abdomen, or paying attention to sitting postures, or the touching point that meditators have chosen, if there's another stronger object arising in the body, then meditators should be mindful of the other stronger object. Actually, it's the nature of the mind to notice something arising, something that is more distinct than the present one. So when meditators knows or perceive there's a stronger bodily object arising, in fact, the attention mind has appeared there. So meditators have to follow the attention of mind and note the other clearer object or more distinct object. Meditators need not have to bring the mindfulness that was noting the previous object into the present object. So the mind will be moving by itself to a stronger object. But if the mind has gone to a less distinct object, then meditators may have to be mindful of the current object, which is more distinct. When meditators are paying attention to any bodily object or bodily sensation, then meditators know the mind thinking. Actually, when the meditator knows the mind thinking, actually the attention mind has gone there. Then meditators just follow the attention mind, be mindful the thinking. If the thinking did not disappear instantly, then meditators might have to make mental labeling, for example, thinking, perceiving the process thinking, and passing away thinking precisely. So this is the mental training. It is not so much of controlling your mind here and there. So everyone can develop mindfulness at any time, any place. But sometimes one has to work. During working, one might have to read reports, or thinking of a solution, how to solve problems, and so on. Then one cannot really be mindful of reading, writing, because reading, writing are mental work as well. But when one doesn't have to do any mental work, then it's possible to practice meditation, for example, mindfulness meditation. So it is possible to cultivate this habit of mindfulness. When you have the habit of developing mindfulness, you may be able to sustain the purity of mind. This habit of doing good, or habit of cultivating mindfulness is very important to one's life. So just now we talk about Kamma Gati or Kamma Nimitta, or Kamma might appear in the last moment of life, or Kamma manifested towards the last moment of life. So in one of Dhammapada story, Kamma Gati appeared in the mind of a Dhammika, a lay disciple who had done a lot of good deeds. So during the time of the Buddha, this lay disciple, by the name of Dhammika, had been making a lot of offering to the Sangha. And he also lived a very virtuous life, and also a leader of 500 virtuous lay disciples. So he had 7 sons, 7 daughters. All of them also were very virtuous and also practiced a lot of dana or charity. So when Dhammika was very ill, about to pass away, so he made a request to the Sangha to come to see him and request the Sangha to recite for him the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So while the monks were chanting the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, at the time, 6 decorated chariots came from 6 different celestial worlds. They come to invite him to their respective Deva worlds. So these Deva from 6 different celestial worlds came to invite him, but he told them to wait. So at the time, the monks were thinking that they were asked to stop the chanting, so they left the place. Then Dhammika told his children that there are these 6 decorated chariots waiting for him, and he made a choice. His children could not see the decorated chariots, so he asked his children to throw a flower garlands towards one of the chariots. So these flower garlands was thrown up and hang with these chariots of the Tusita world. So after passing away, he was born in the Tusita world. So the Buddha spoke in words. Here he rejoiced, after death he rejoiced. One who performs meritorious deeds rejoices in both existences. He rejoices and greatly rejoices when he sees the purity of his own deeds. It's also important to be mindful while doing good deeds. Remember the good deeds that you were doing at the time. In the practice of samatha meditation, there are 40 objects of samatha meditation. Out of the 40 objects, there are 10 kinds of recollections or anusati. The 10 recollections includes Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, Sanghanusati. Recollections also includes Silanusati, Jaganusati. Silanusati means recollections of one's own morality. Jaganusati means recollection of one's own charity or dana. So if you be mindful of these good deeds, in other words, you could remember well when and where you make offering or requisition to Sangha, or when you do charity in the old folks' home, then that good deeds you stay in your mind. That recollection also will help you to arouse joy and give you more confidence to do more and more good deeds. And then these good deeds will stay in your mind till the moment of death. In the teaching, the Buddha, the teaching does not encourage anyone to recollect the past unwholesome deeds or past evil deeds that one had done. Because recollections of unwholesome deeds will not help a person to undo it, but it may increase the unwholesome states of the mind. So use our mental effort on remembering the good deeds. That's why, for example, in certain ceremony, the monk who leads the ceremony, such as Katina ceremonies, will announce the date, the time, the date, and the place of the ceremony. Sometimes they announce the year, not only in, for example, in Burma, not only in the Myanmar era, They also announced in Christian era, as well as the Buddhist year. And what are requisites being offered to the Sangha, to the Vihara, and so on. So the purpose is not only to arouse joys, inviting others to rejoicing the merits, to share the merits, but also to remember, to keep in mind these good deeds that was done at this time, this date, at this place. Then when the ceremony is over, then at other time, other places, you may have the opportunity, for example, to practice Silanusati, Jaganusati, as a support to your practice of Vipassana meditation, mindfulness meditation. Otherwise, we may quite mindless. Mindless means could not remember those good deeds that we have been doing. So these are the 4 kinds of karma in the order of ripening. The first is Garuka karma, the second is Asana karma, the third is Ajina karma, and the fourth is Katata karma. So you should at this moment develop good habit or habit of doing good deeds, especially a habit of mindfulness. It's because wholesome karma is your refuge. Then you do not have to rely on others. So I wish everyone rightly understand the teachings of the karma, so that you could choose the right karma wisely, and eventually you could attain your ultimate spiritual goal, that is enlightenment.
สาธุ